Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Better Call Saul. Last time on Better Call Saul, we had Nippy. Nippy! Oh, sorry. That's how Gene said, well, he said he yelled for his dog Nippy, but it was all a slip. Anyway, so back in the future, Gene was dealing with Jeff, and he was pulling out some old Slip and Jimmy stuff, and went and befriended Jeff's mom, played by Carol Burnett, and then basically talked Jeff into a robbery of the mall, and then afterwards he basically was like, all right, I did this for you, but we are done. Our business is concluded, you know? We're not going any further. So he got rid of Jeff, which was good. And yeah, it was a whole elaborate thing, but really, really interesting and really, really fun. And yeah, and yeah, at the end of the episode, I was trying to think, like, how did the episode end? I couldn't remember. But yeah, Gene was looking at some rather extravagant shirts, and he was reminiscing about being Saul Goodman. That's it, specifically. Although, I think there is some credence to, perhaps he could be remembering the old days. Well, he's remembering all the old days. At that point, there you go. So, but yeah. Sometimes I say stuff in these videos and then I catch it in editing and I'm like, this is kind of dumb. I should say something before the comments say something. But it's possible the comments will say something anyway, so, oh well. It's the eternal struggle of a YouTuber to get ahead of YouTube comments. It's a bit of a futile struggle, so yeah. Anywho, we still got 3 episodes left of Better Call Saul, and boy, I'm excited. So, why don't we just go ahead and jump right into this episode of Better Call Saul. Here we go. Oh, color.
Guys, come on. Talk to me.
Oh, don't tell me.
Why are we going off road?
Oh, man.
Whatever this is, can we please
Season
don't
2,
do this?
Episode 8.
Come on, talk to me, guys, huh?
Just that clothes on the bullet holes.
Oh, no.
Oh, they got to recreate the whole scene.
It was Ignacio.
Oh! Ooh. He really tried to make a new intro. Wow. That was good. Oh, and we're back in black. And white. Interesting. What a way to open. Jackie Chan Adventures is on TV.
I gotta go. Just leave the plunger outside the door when you're done.
But it's still a clock, dude.
You do it, dude.
Nuh.
It's a simple up and down motion, like you're used to.
Nuh. So she's a landlord for a couple stoners that watch Jackie Chan Adventures. God, I want to watch Jackie Chan Adventures now. Man, this is weird. It's black and white, but it's Francesca, you know?
Pieces of broken concrete in the dirt.
Just pull back the one that's kind of shaped like New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Alfred Hitchcock in a Fez.
Nuh.
Whatever.
Alright. So, the one shaped like New Jersey. Well, that is kind of shaped like New Jersey. There's a tap. When the hell did he set this up?
Well, tell me, how hot?
How hot?
How hot?
Yeah.
Well, I still get followed. Not as often as when the shit first hit the fan, but
Okay.
I still see
An
them.
update on the whole
My
situation.
mail gets opened. Skylar White got her deal, so
Hey.
the only ones left to go after are you and Pinkman, and I heard they found his car down by the border, so
Nuh.
adios, Dopehead.
Yeah, he's out.
So they're still into me.
El Camino's already happened.
How's Kubi?
No idea.
Nuh.
All right, how about Huel?
Huel, I guess, back home in New Orleans. DEA held him under false pretenses or something, so
Nuh.
Last I
Yeah.
heard he walked.
got the hell out of there.
Remember Bill Oakley? He switched sides.
He came out, huh?
No, he's not gay. He's a defense attorney now.
Hey.
I did get one call after everything went down. Kim. Checking in on me.
No kidding?
Kim called.
Your name came up.
I bet it did.
Asked if you were alive.
What did you tell her?
She's still out there
Nothing.
somewhere.
But she asked.
Yep.
Oh. Of course she would. She sees all that blow up, of course she would talk. She would be concerned. Even after everything.
Hi. I'm looking for Kim Wexler.
He's looking for
Believe she
Kim.
works there?
Kim moved out to Florida? That sucks! Oh. Oh, here comes another. And... So it wasn't a good conversation. Jeez! Back to Jeff.
Look, Gene showed me. You go to the box up here, and then you type in funny cat videos.
Mwah.
I mean, that's not just funny cat videos. These funny cat videos just pop up.
You can just barely see it, but look at that old YouTube.
Cat
Oh.
eating ice cream. Can you believe it?
It's like
Oh, my
America's
God.
Funniest Home Video.
So we're back in business? Oh, hell yeah.
The sailor said, Brandy, you're a
Oh,
fine
no.
girl. What a good wife you would be.
He's going back on the slip. This is all Jeff's fault.
That must have been what it would be like if you watched the Hindenburg go down. But worse. Am I right?
Oh.
Let's go still, right? That's a bet.
Oh, did he get himself a new Marco? What the hell? He has a device so that he cannot... Because he doesn't want to get drunk. He wants to get this guy drunk. Man, that's a slip and a half, dude.
Balance this book of matches on the back of your hand for 10 seconds. That's it. And the cab's yours. 10, 9, 8. Jesus! Jesus! You can keep the matches.
Thanks.
What a fine girl.
I mean, I get Marco vibes, but I don't know. I don't know if Marco ever lit a dude's hand on fire.
Feel better.
Okay, so they've set up a robbery in this dude's house. Now you turn everything over. Oh. Who's a good boy? Like, it's a really good dog to just stay there that whole time. Let's go. Oh. Yeah, you gotta get the duct tape. Alright. Nope. And we're back. Alright, so that scene is now played
What
out.
the hell is this? It's like James Whale's traveling roadshow in here.
Mwah.
What the hell that is?
Oh!
Ship definitely travels.
Oh!
Sorry, you said the what? Travels?
Where's the ship? What do I call this thing?
Oh my god, they're back!
Details. I said no details.
Mwah.
You stand in front of a meth lab. It's not like he ain't gonna put two and two together. He is on a need-to-know basis.
Oh, I didn't want to show my face. Did he need to know that?
Mwah.
So, you're not just distribution. You're the whole freaking package. You two actually make the blue stuff. Here?
Nah. Yeah. Man, I don't remember
That's
these lamps in
amazing.
here.
Can you not touch?
I mean, look at this. I had a fish that could have used this as a vacation home, but you're
Duh.
using it to
Oh,
make
that
good,
poor
so-
fish.
That's
Oh, no.
You gotta give us some gas.
I
when you're
gave
backing
it
up.
the proper amount of gas.
Guess that's why we're moving now.
Look, it just was idling too long. It'll start.
Man, it's so good to see these
Let
two
me
again.
drive, yo.
So,
Who's Lolo?
nah,
Who?
Lolo.
you mentioned him.
Some dude named Lalo sent us. You seem pretty freaked out. Never heard of no Lalo on the street.
It's nobody.
It's interesting that Jesse doesn't know Lala. He probably only knows Salamanca. He's Salamanca's lawyer. That old fucking RV. Of course, obviously not going to be the same one. Man, they just left that hole there. Oh, what a transition, man. And we're back. Oh. Freaking foot swing thing. Oh, he's getting into it again.
A lot of water. Sure.
It cannot be a part of me for
Is there something in the water, or is it specifically just... I don't know. Okay, yes, there is.
careful play close to what he had to say, and one more time the
Damn, this is like a big thing too. Like they're stealing like a bunch of credit card information and everything. This is more than the old slips we used to see.
faded dream
Oh, the cell phones.
What are those for?
Cancer.
Cancer.
Sorry.
Come on, more drinks.
Uh,
One's on me. Get 2 more here, please.
is he gonna not want to do it? Oh, is that just it? Nope, still going, and we're back.
I'm not going to talk to you while you're on whatever that is.
You know, LBJ used to have his underlings give him reports while he was on the shitter.
Well, either I'm going to leave or I'm going to put my foot in your skull.
Meh. Yeah.
Well, next I followed your bus driver. Newsflash, he really does have a broken neck.
Meh.
Fantastic. That makes my life much easier. Keep it coming.
Why does Mike do
Guy
this?
out of Indianapolis.
What about that Heisenberg fella?
He
High school
would.
chemistry teacher.
He would have Mike do
You
research.
shitting me, really?
Walter Hartwell White, chemistry teacher
Walter.
over at J.P. Wynn. Well, listen, even if this guy was going to live, I wouldn't go near him. He's a complete amateur.
Meh.
Well,
Yeah.
You see an amateur, I see 170 pounds of clay ready to be molded.
Well, if the cancer doesn't get him, it'll be the cops or a bullet to the head.
Meh.
Is that your appraisal, or is that what he who shall not be named says about him?
Meh.
He didn't say anything. The guy's small potatoes.
Yeah, okay. I hear you.
Eh.
I got a feeling about this.
Yeah, he knows about Gus, but
It's top of the line product. That's the buzz on the street, and I just think with the right
You
management.
know, years ago I bought a Betamax. Good product, top of the line.
Meh.
Experts said it was better than a VHS.
yeah.
Turned out to be a complete waste of time and money. Let it go.
That's a good analogy of Walter White.
He did the time. No one else on his crew went down. Solid.
And we're back. Well, presuming he didn't stop Jeff. Oh my god, he got an earpiece.
You think you've seen everything?
Such an easy job for Carol Burnett. Yeah, why is Gene here so late at night?
And what, so you can just wimp out?
No, he didn't go through.
Cancer, man. I found pills in his pocket. Okay, the same ones my dad took for like pancreatic cancer.
So, a guy with cancer can't be an asshole? Believe me, I speak from experience.
Yeah.
I can't rip off a guy with cancer. I'm sorry. I pulled the tape when I left. The door's locked. We couldn't get back in even if we wanted to. Jeff, come on, man. Back me up here. Huh?
Oh, well.
Jeff, would you like to contribute?
I can see both sides, kind of.
You know, forget it. You're fired. Just go. Just give me the camera and go.
Fine.
Good. Go. We don't need you.
Yeah,
And I
dude,
know I
get
don't
out
like
of
to
there,
tell you
because this is
but
not a
since
good
you're
place
such
to
a
be.
goddamn damn- If we're gonna do this, we should leave now.
We're really gonna go back there?
What did I just say? Jeff, are you in or out?
It's you who's out, Jimmy. Out of your mind! Man, if Gene gets caught, that's it.
Come back and get me in 20 minutes. Just roll up slow like you're picking up a fare. It'll be fine. Relax.
Oh. Love these transitions, man. Oh, hey. Oh, this is when he went to the school. Ah, I get that now. You really are a high school chemistry teacher. I love the back and forth on this, because we've never had that in this show yet. I don't know if you heard that buzz. That's the dryer in my house. It's not. Oh, no. No! Gene, why? Oh, man. Oh, man. How long was that episode? 56 minutes? A long episode. Good. Good. I like them. This is the only show where I accept long episodes. Oh, man. Oh, man. I knew I wore this shirt for a reason. Breaking Bad, and he's Breaking Bad because Gene is Breaking Bad. What are you doing, man? Because in Breaking Bad, the episode was Better Call Saul because they better call Saul, and in this one, it's Breaking Bad because he broke bad. What is he doing? Every so often, Jimmy McGill spirals back. He relapses. Probably relapsed more than Chuck did, you know? My God. It's terrible. It's terrible. And now he's not being careful. Marion saw, you know, she'll start to get a little suspicious. Then this slip probably isn't gonna work, you know. What a good episode. What a great episode. And it's interesting because, yeah, it's like, you know, we've all been waiting, you know. We've all been waiting since the announcement for the return of Walt and Jesse, you know. But it's interesting how they've done it, you know, because I mean, they waited until the very end to bring those two back, you know. But, oh, it's great. It's absolutely great. I love it. And it makes sense, you know? So now, the rest of this season now is... It's interesting that this last part of the season, of the show, honestly, the plot seems to be focusing around Gene, you know? I feel like this plot is going to focus on Gene and, you know, wrap up Saul's story altogether with the twinges, the flashbacks to Breaking Bad, you know? Oh, boy. I love, too, at the beginning that they vaguely made a new Better Call Saul opening, you know? So I really do like that. Also, can I just say, I just realized Because last episode, because the entire episode was in black and white, I thought I was going to be artsy and I'd put the entire episode in black and white. If I know myself, and I think I do, I bet you what I'm going to do to edit this episode, and you've already obviously seen, is have, whenever it's in color, the video is in color. But whenever it's in black and white, that part of the video is in black and white. But I just suddenly realized that the last scene, that last little part, and the credits here too, are in black and white. So am I just gonna leave the whole discussion in black and white? Obviously you can see what I decided, but I should just do it. I should just leave it black and white just because that's fun, you know? At least I hope it's fun. I hope you guys find this the least bit fun. At the time I'm recording this, the last episode hasn't even gone up to Patreon yet, let alone just gone up publicly on YouTube. So I have no idea what the reaction is going to be to the full black and white episode of Better Call Saul, you know? So, I mean, it shouldn't be that bad, because it's, you know, it's fine. I think. Alrighty. Breaking Bad. So, we start off with Francesca. I like that. Again, it's kind of weird. It's weird to see characters... I mean, it's basically characters we're so used to in color now in the black and white, you know? Because the black and white... It's an interesting... It was always an interesting choice, having the black and white for the future scenes. But I like that. I've always liked that choice. So now, having that where it's like, you know... Because it's Saul, but he's, you know, he's Gene. He's got the mustache and everything. He's not the Saul or Jimmy that we used to know. So that works. And there's no other characters in the black and white that we, you know, really knew of until now. Now we have Francesca in the black and white. I don't know. There's something special about it. Because there's something special about the black and white, you know? So, yeah. So, what we saw... What is it? I'm going to say season 4, episode 5. Let me go see if I'm right about that. I've saved all of my thumbnails from Better Call Saul so far. So I was right. Season 4, episode 5 starts off with Saul at the end of Breaking Bad, just before he calls Ed, and he specifically tells Francesca to be somewhere. Was it November 10th? I think they said November 10th, and yeah, that was it. That basically he wanted to see how hot everything was still. So that also means that this honestly isn't too far into the future, which is interesting because I've always thought it was like a couple years at least into the future after Breaking Bad, because mainly just because of Saul's appearance, you know, or Gene's appearance at the beginning, where, you know, he looks older, but honestly, I guess it's not that, especially at the beginning, he wasn't that much older at the beginning, you know, because that only came out, 2 years after Breaking Bad ended? They started Better Call Saul. So it's just that he doesn't have, you know, the comb over haircut. It's just his natural hair, and he has the mustache and the glasses, so it makes him look older. But yeah, it's still not even, it might not even be a year later for all we know. So it's just, you know, months later at least. At the very least, so let's see, what do we have? We have Saul leaving to Nebraska. Walt leaves to New Hampshire. Jesse is imprisoned for those months. Walt eventually goes back to Albuquerque and dies. That's maybe 3 or 4 months later. Jesse escapes. Then Ed takes him to Alaska. And so this, at the very least, is after that. Maybe, at the very least, I would say a month after that, because, and they do reference El Camino, that Jesse's car was found by the border, you know? So they're not even looking for Jesse, you know, up north, basically, which is good. So yeah, so that stuff is interesting. So yeah, this can, I would probably say 6-8 months maybe after Saul leaves for Nebraska, which is interesting. So yeah. And yeah, he just wanted to see. So Skyler, they reference, this is the first reference of Skyler in the entirety of Better Call Saul, which is crazy. So Skyler took the deal, which is good. Skyler took her deal, and with Walt dead, then there's nothing, there's nothing, they wouldn't be going after her so crazily, And obviously, because it's after the events of Felina, that also means that they would have found Hank and Gomi's bodies out in the desert, because that's what Walt gave to Skyler. So, man, this is crazy that I have to, it's crazy talking about this again, talking about the end of Breaking Bad and El Camino and discussing it again, because it exactly relates to now what's going on, because they're talking about it here at the end of Better Call Saul, So yeah, Skyler took the deal, which is good. So they're pretty much off of her, which means with Walt dead, the only people left to go after are Saul and Jesse. Jesse is out. Saul's out. That's the other thing. Saul is out. Saul and Jesse both are out of there. I would honestly say Jesse maybe got the better deal. He went further away. Honestly, you know what? I think of everybody, I think Nacho had the right idea. Because he specifically had fake IDs to go to Canada instead. Because that makes sense. Because the cartel is in Mexico. He would not want to go south. So Nacho had the idea to go to Canada. That's probably the better idea, That's probably the better idea. If you're going to go somewhere, I would imagine Ed probably doesn't smuggle. Well, I would say that Ed doesn't smuggle internationally. He wouldn't smuggle someone to another country. But he had to have smuggled Jesse across Canada to get to Alaska, Assuming he drove Jesse that entire way. Poor Jesse just had to stay in that, box the whole time with a heater and a lantern, That's one of those things that I think about. It's man, it's I kind of look around. It's man, I hope I have the time to grab a couple books if I have to do something like that. Not that I would ever have to, I'm just some idiot on YouTube, but, well, there's a lot of idiots on YouTube. I guess that's not very specific, so, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so that was interesting, just hearing about all that. And yeah, Saul should be fine, At the very least, he should be fine, because he only got recognized by one guy, Oh, but first, the reason, before we get into that, I did like that, yeah, Kim called Francesca, which is good. Because, yeah, Francesca is not, I mean, I guess she would be an accomplice. I don't even know, because they've obviously not arrested her. They're not going after her. She would only be, a consequence. I guess that's the only way I could put it. But just, she's an associate, but not part of it, Saul is obviously who they're going after. They don't really care. They just want to use Francesca to get to him. But, obviously, they're being clever about it, So, yeah. So that stuff is interesting. And then, but Kim definitely, Kim called Francesca to check in on her, which, that's really nice. I like that. Because, of course she would, Of course Kim would check in when she sees all this. And, yeah, she would see, Walter White is Heisenberg, partner Jesse Pinkman, and lawyer Saul Goodman. She would know, oh my god, Jimmy is in so much trouble. And there would be no way to contact him, but she contacted Francesca. But Francesca didn't say anything. And Francesca doesn't even know where Jimmy is, So. And because of this, Jimmy called Kim. But it was not a good conversation, clearly. Which that's an interesting thing, that clearly he got a hold of Kim, Clearly he got a hold of Kim, but didn't pretty much didn't. The conversation did not go well, and he was furious after that, which is interesting. And then, because of that, he started slipping. He was like, "All right, I'm going for a slip." Which I have to think, obviously, like, all right, that first guy was a one and done slip, but I feel like it was on purpose that guy was a lot like Marco. That the first guy he scammed was a lot like Marco. I feel like that has to be intentional. This big but energetic guy, who keeps taking bets and stuff like that. That felt like he was intentionally supposed to be Marco. So, yeah. And then, they just kept doing all this, getting information, credit card information and everything. And it's a crazy slip. It's crazy. It's not just the normal, because it starts off, you think it's the normal thing of, you just get somebody to pay for the drinks and everything. But no, they drug the guy, and then, what the hell is Jeff's friend's name? Buddy. Okay, it's just Buddy. Alright. Cool. But yeah, so Buddy goes in with his dog. I love that he always has a dog with him, That was a good trained dog, too. It's like, stay here while I go do this. And it did. This is a good boy. I tell you what, my dog would never do that. My dog... It's hard to get my dog to do things on command, Oh well. Anywho. But yeah, so there was all of that, and I just kept slipping, and I like how that was mirrored. Gene Breaking Bad. Gene was Breaking Bad. He's doing what he shouldn't be doing, and I love how that was reflected with Saul meeting with Walt and Jesse, And that was good. It's great to see them again. And yes, obviously, Walt and Jesse, they ain't as young as they used to be in season 2. Neither is Bob Odenkirk, for that matter, but it's great to see them. I think the biggest difference, honestly, is really just Jesse's voice. Like, in pretty much all those scenes, like, it was dark enough in the RV to where it's like you really wouldn't notice, but Jesse's voice is deeper than it was in season 2, which is interesting. Which, I mean, that honestly, like, that also occurs over the course of Breaking Bad, and then especially once you get to El Camino, but that's like the one thing where it's like a noticeable difference. Other than that, they still look great, and it's good to see them again. And I almost wonder if we might get more scenes with them. I kind of hope we do. I hope we get a few more scenes with them before the end. But I'm wondering if, for this specific episode, if Bryan Cranston didn't need to wear a bald cap because he had the mask or whatever on his head, Because that was the thing, was that he didn't shave his head for El Camino. They just put a bald cap on him, and it looked fine enough, If you really look at it, yeah, you can kind of see it. But like, if you really look at it and you squint, yeah. But otherwise, I thought the bald cap was fine. So I'll be curious. Although it could just be, for Better Call Saul, if he's here for a couple episodes, he may have shaved his head again. I don't know. That'd be cool. Either way, it's great to see the two of them again. And yeah, seeing Saul go in for the first time, and I like how. It's interesting. I almost wonder if Saul, if he kind of sees himself in Walt and Jesse, Because Saul was an amateur who got big time, And I'm wondering if he kind of looks at Walt and Jesse and thinks, well, and the only thing is, it's not just that, he sees greatness in them. It's that he sees how he can use them for greatness, I think that's part of it, too, is that he sees how he can use them for greatness. And he said, it's 170 pounds of clay I can mold, Which didn't end up happening, because there is no way that Saul was ever in control of Walt. But I think he definitely saw that. That's why he was so on board with Heisenberg, So yeah, and I gotta say, well, first off, we also did have Jesse mentioning Lalo, because yeah, he does. Saul does say that in Breaking Bad. He thinks that these are Lalo's men, and I actually heard somewhere. Hang on. something on my lip. All right. I actually heard somewhere that they had the idea for Lalo for a long time. Like, he was supposed to be a villain in Breaking Bad, but it just didn't work out. There was nowhere to really fit him in. But I'm wondering if Lalo was supposed to be Gus, actually. And because I've heard that Gus wasn't supposed to like come back after his first episode, but the reason he did was because they loved Giancarlo so much that they made Gus into what he is, what he became, this incredible great villain. And so I'm wondering if they just took the plans that they had for Lalo and then put that to Gus, but then they were left with, well, now what do we do with Lalo? Until eventually, in Better Call Saul, as soon, they had to lay down the foundations first, but eventually they were able to bring Lalo to life, So what seemed like a throwaway line in Breaking Bad, I think was supposed to be something big, It was supposed to be something big in Breaking Bad, but it didn't work out. And now they were able to, bring it to life here. But yeah. And now it's also interesting again that because Saul Goodman has such street cred, and we've seen that he got a lot of that from being Salamanca's lawyer, but despite that, Jesse didn't know who Lalo was, but I would imagine, it'd be a couple years later. This would be 2008 by this point, and where last we left, it was about 2004, with after Howard's death. So I would imagine it's just in that time Saul's reputation just grew away from Lalo, But it's sort of an interesting thing that everybody went to Saul because he was Salamanca's lawyer, But that's not what Jesse thought about. Jesse didn't know about that, So that was great and good to see the RV again, even though I'm positive that is not the same RV. I'm sure they've been through like 5 RVs at this point, But I love it. It's great to see. And then we got a scene with Mike, the only other main character from Better Call Saul in this episode. Mike coming in. And I like how it's interesting how Mike does he did start doing a lot more PI work for Saul. I'm wondering, though, if that's because Saul took over the vet's whole network, basically, because I think that's supposed to be it, and that's the reason why Saul, knows about all this stuff. I think actually I saw that in at the beginning of the season when they're going through all of Saul's stuff at his house, I think you can see the vet's little black book. So that's to imply that once the vet retired from all that, he did give it to Jimmy, So if Mike is still looking for work or anything, he goes to now, instead of going to the vet, he goes to Saul. But that's interesting that he does do a lot more PI work for Saul, and he found out everything he needed to know about Walter White, He's an amateur. And I do like the expression of it's like, even though it's top of the line, it's like, yeah, I had a Betamax. This expert said it was top of the line. Great. But all it turned out to be was a waste of money. And honestly, Mike was right, because look where everything went to, But Saul wanted in on something. And with Walter White, he was in on something for a while. So, yeah. So, really, really great stuff in this episode. I really enjoyed it. And I'm so curious to see. We've only got 2 episodes left, man. I'm going to freaking miss this show. But yeah, that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Better Call Saul reactions, as well as all of my Breaking Bad reactions if you want to go check those out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.